I struggle with the fear of imperfection. I've had to settle on the fact that anything made completely by hand will not be perfect. Making shoes is just like anything else we want to master. We have to devote ourselves and then practice, practice, practice. The fears we don't face become our limits. Just give your dream a shot. You never know. Hi, welcome back to Shoemanifesto. Today I'll be laying the critical groundwork that will support the crafting of this pair of prototype shoes. This is the step where creativity meets functionality and reality. There's a lot of prep work involved in shoemaking, and that process is sequential. The strategic thinking we often talk about here on the Shoemanifesto channel will really come into play during this step. I'm referring to structure and sequencing. That's especially the case for this project's focal point, the heel counters. The way the heel counters are layered and constructed will require careful planning. I'll explain that in just a minute. Today I'll be cutting all the upper materials, which is called clicking. During this step I'll also be adding the top line tape to those upper pieces and then sewing them together, which is called closing. I'm also going to be doing a lot of the ancillary work like dyeing the satin florets and the muslin backing for the heel counters. I also have to prep the insole boards and mount those onto the lasts, and I'll also work on the heels. Let me show you what I mean about how the heel counters will be constructed and how complex that will be. You'll see what I mean about sequencing. I wanted to talk some more about how this heel counter is going to be constructed. This is a symmetrical, classic Norse pattern. The complexity will come in at that heel counter. I've got my tech flat here in front of me for reference. I want to use the heel counter lining, this red fabric, as the edge binding. I'll attach this to a muslin backing, which will be dyed black with a hidden stitch. In front of that, I'll have the interfacing material. And then the heel counter lining will be rolled over to form a hidden seam. And here in the valley, I'm going to use another hidden stitch. That won't be visible, but it will be visible on the inside of the heel counter. One row of stitching with a red bobbin thread and probably a black top thread, so that when you view it from the inside of the shoe, you'll see one red stitch. Then I'm going to peel back the heel counter lining, having only the interfacing and the muslin backing. And then I'm going to sew down the irregular cut PU pieces, just like here on the tech flat. I don't want to have the lining down because if I sew through everything all at once, then you'll see all of the different stitches inside the heel counter. It won't look good. So I want to peel this back first. Once I have those all sewn down, lay this back flat and tack this in place with pins. Then I have to lift the muslin backing and then insert the heat activated celastic stiffener between the interfacing and the backing. And that will be the assembly of the heel counter. And to complicate matters, the three woven layers, the lining, the interfacing, and the muslin backing, all need a center back seam so that they conform to the curve of the back line and also the feather edge. And all three of them will need a seam like that independently. So the pieces have to be cut and sewn independently just right and sewn together just right. For the vamp treatment on this project, I'm going to be using this faux suede textured woven for both the vamp upper and the vamp lining. And this will be sewn together with a plain seam at about 10 millimeters. And at this point already, I will sew in the satin floret to the vamp upper. That'll be in place. When viewed from inside the shoe, you'll see that seam about 10 millimeters back from the throat line. Here, the vamp will be in place. Then I'll place the interfacing against the vamp lining. At this point, I'll place the celastic stiffener, which in the vamp is called a toe puff. And that goes 10 millimeters up from that seam to the top line. And then the vamp will be pulled over like this, and the floret will already be in place. And at this point, all of that can be cemented to the underside of the toe box. I'm going to leave you with a look at clicking and closing for this project series. And the goal here is to be very thoughtful in sequence and timing. I'm once again working with wovens which don't have any stretch. So pattern shape and alignment have to be perfect. If not, the applique of the PU pieces will look sloppy. In the next video of this handmade shoe series, I'll be making the stiffeners and we'll complete final lasting of these uppers. After that's done, all that's left is finishing work like mounting the heel and the outsole, and then final presentation. So the call to action on this video pertains to our topic. It's to release your fears of pursuing your goals. Any insecurities you may have about starting your journey, whether it's equipment or knowledge or inexperience, or even if it's something as simple as the sound of your own voice, or even self-doubt, let it go and just try. Take the first step and then another, and I promise you won't regret it. Acting upon any goal will change who you are and how you see yourself, and that will give you a sense of fulfillment that will resonate in every aspect of your life. Don't ever give up on your dream. See you in the next one.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I weighed the person you